For those of you who've been following me for a long time, you'd know that I'm a Knicks fan. Yeah, it hasn't been good. Recently, Kristaps Porzingis requested a trade and got traded to Dallas for a package centered around Dennis Smith Jr. The full details of this trade looks like this. Now, before I get into it, my initial reaction is, well, this sucks. It's a terrible trade. Some people might look at the 2 future first-round picks the Knicks are getting, but those picks will be pretty late first-rounders if Dallas continues to get better. In the next few years, it could fall into the 20s and not matter much. And knowing the Knicks, they're not guaranteed to get value. The Knicks already have like 3 point guards on their roster who've been rotating in and out of the lineup. Ntilikina and Mudiay are both young, 20 and 22 years old respectively, and they haven't been terrible. So yeah, how's it going folks? My name's Andy, and today let's talk about this trade. First, let's look at the other players involved. Both Tim Hardaway Jr. and Courtney Lee are fillers. Hardaway is making $18 million a year until 2021, so he's basically a salary dump. Courtney Lee is making $12 million a year until 2020, so he's also a salary dump. They're both on horrendous contracts, so both of them have negative value. It's good that the Knicks got rid of them, but at the same time, it really doesn't matter because they're not contending in the near future anyway. In fact, Hardaway jacking up shots like crazy at a 37% clip, it's better for the Knicks tanking. As for what the Knicks got back, they got basically nothing else besides Dennis Smith Jr. Both DeAndre Jordan and Wesley Matthews' contracts are expiring and they're going to be unrestricted free agents. I really doubt either of them are going to re-sign with the Knicks, so they're basically non-factors in this deal. So essentially, the Knicks traded Porzingis and got rid of 2 terrible contracts in exchange for Dennis Smith Jr. and 2 future firsts. Maybe one of those first-round picks will end up pretty high if Dallas has a down year, but looking at the way they're going now, they're not going to be high picks in the future. And there's no guarantee the Knicks will turn these picks into good prospects. I guess the Mavs did absorb some bad contracts in Hardaway and Lee, but I don't know, they might just not even play them. The only good news for the Knicks is that they got rid of their bad contracts, but the bad thing is, I don't think Dennis Smith Jr. fits on the team, nor is he even close to the level of Porzingis. Porzingis has spent the last year rehabbing from an ACL injury, and some critics would suggest that he might not ever return back to form, especially for a lanky 7'3" tall player. ACL tears are no joke, and while recently more and more players are recovering successfully, any knee injury like that could have devastating long-term effects, even more so for big men. But I think a lot of people forget how good Porzingis was up until he got injured. Last season, he was averaging nearly 23 points a game on 40% from 3. He started off the season strong but slowed down as the year progressed, probably due to fatigue, having to carry his team every game. However, despite his improvements on the court, Porzingis was never a fan of the Knicks management. In 2017, he blew off his exit interview with then Knicks president Phil Jackson. Apparently, he had a confrontation with coach Jeff Hornacek and then he got pissed. According to Sports Illustrated, Porzingis has repeatedly said that he wants to remain with the team after reportedly missing the meeting because of frustration over dysfunction and drama surrounding the organization. His excellent 2017-18 season temporarily put his frustrations to the side, but recently it came back in full force. On a quiet Thursday afternoon, according to Woj, Porzingis sat down with Knicks management and gave the impression that he wants to be traded. Just 1 hour later, he got traded, which is probably the fastest time any player got traded after requesting a trade. The Dallas Mavericks came in with their guns a-blazing and gave them an offer that they could not refuse. Well, they could have refused it because the trade sucked, but they're the Knicks. In my opinion, it was inevitable that Porzingis would be gone. I don't really like how he left though. I mean, they're still a young, developing team, so everyone expected them to be bad this season. So why is he surprised that they're bad, considering that he was the star on the team and he wasn't even playing? I'm pretty sure the expectations were very low. I'm not surprised Porzingis left, I just didn't think it would be this early. On the other hand, I made a video about DSJ recently, and I did believe that he would get traded eventually because him and Luka were not a great fit. They could have waited longer for them to develop more chemistry, but they had a chance to pair Luka with an all-star caliber big, and they took that opportunity. Can't really fault them because I think Porzingis fits in much better with Luka. He can pick and pop, roll to the rim, space the floor, he's a mobile defender. It's honestly a perfect fit for two young players. Porzingis also looks up to Dirk, and he's the perfect mentor for him. He couldn't be in a better situation, and I hope he does well there. For the Knicks, I'm not sure what they're gonna do now. They currently have DSJ, Ntilikina, Mudiay, and Trey Burke as their point guards. All of them are quite young. They might make another trade to get rid of either Ntilikina or Mudiay, or maybe get rid of both. But I don't think they have that much value, and DSJ has improved this year. However, I'm not sure if Dennis's improvement is because of Luka getting more of the attention from opposing defenses. We'll have to see how he does on the Knicks as the first option. Anyway, that's all folks, those were my initial reactions on the Porzingis and DSJ trade. I think it's terrible for the Knicks, and the Mavs clearly got the better end of the deal. Porzingis did request a trade, but the Knicks agreed to the deal so quickly, like it's insane how fast this trade happened. They might have gotten a better deal if they waited, and I'm sure other teams wanted Porzingis too. Anyway, let me know in the comments your thoughts on the trade. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time. Peace.